bit like this. Kind of get comfortable.
Episode 62 is a conversation with Mason Lynaugh, co-founder of ATX DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, for people who don't know, working to unite Austin's crypto communities, enable local artists and businesses to participate in the crypto ecosystem, and educate the government about the benefits of Web3. Mason was born and raised in Austin and worked in music and tech before entering the crypto community. So let's start with your background and how you got involved in crypto, Web3, and the ATX DAO.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'm going to be moving around a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
So crypto, I was telling you beforehand, it kind of kept coming back to me. But as far as my background goes, like you said, I am from Austin, Texas, born and raised downtown. Every piece of schooling has been here. I went to UT here. I could not escape. And I am still here to this day. So started with music. I was in a band in middle school that was playing at local venues that are no longer existent. They've been replaced by condos. I was doing music in college, started a production company. And then after that, I was like, okay, it's time to go to tech. Like, what else is there to do? That's what everyone's telling me to do. So I started with IT consulting and then ended up moving into sales. And then it just kind of came, like the opportunity came to me in October 2021, a little bit earlier. There's a group of people that were starting this ATX DAO. And as someone from Austin, I was like, okay, this seems like something I can get behind. So I joined on as a co-founder and put my whole heart into it.
And were you involved in the community before ATX DAO, or did you know nothing about the space?
Yeah, crypto. Yeah, I knew about it starting in high school, actually. So I was in. So I graduated in 2014 from high school. So I guess in like 2013, 2012, I knew about crypto. Unfortunately, didn't.
And Bitcoin was founded when?
It was like 2008, 2009. It's a result.
So right at the beginning.
Yeah, as a result from the financial crisis. So
yeah.
I was in the computer lab with some of my like commuter lab buddies when Dogecoin came out. I remember that.
Yeah, Dogecoin.
And I remember them talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. So yeah, that was. I definitely didn't do anything there, but I enjoyed learning about crypto from them. And then in college, I got into it again as well during like ICOs. So that was fun. And then came back again with NFTs, and I was like, okay, well, this is pretty cool. Like, as someone who is in music, I was like, okay, cool. I could see this being useful.
Yeah.
And then DAOs popped up, and here I am.
So what appealed to you specifically about crypto?
I mean, it was just interesting at first. Like, it went through different phases of interest for me. So when it was in high school, it was just like cool tech, and all my like comp sci nerdy friends liked it. And then like I was technically one of those people too. So and then in college, I saw it and I was like, oh well, it's time for me to make some money. And so it was like strictly profit driven there.
Right.
So the karma didn't work out there, as I didn't really make much money in that situation. But when it came back in 2021, big time with NFTs, then it was more like, okay, use case driven, value driven. I see like an actual reason to focus on this technology that could apply to people I know, apply to myself. And then with DAOs, DAOs to me are like a really strong use case for crypto. We can get into that later, but I think DAOs are really a point where people can learn that crypto is actually useful.
Well, let's get into it now.
Okay.
What is a DAO and why is it useful?
So a DAO is fundamentally like a new organizational structure. So if you think about like a corporation or a co-op or whatever, DAO is just like a new version of it. Obviously it stands for decentralized autonomous organization, and that can manifest in different forms. But the idea is that there's no predetermined hierarchy, and there's like member managed DAOs, and then there's like smart contract DAOs or whatever, like protocol driven. So that's like where it's all like on chain code, solidity, whatever, and then things execute without a person. But like ATX DAO is more like member managed. And so when I see it, it's like ATX DAO is, it's akin to like a social club. It's akin to like a chamber of commerce. It's akin to like an association. But compared to all of those, it is more democratic because everybody owns it and everybody has the ability to trustlessly create ideas and vote on them, and control a pool of funds without any type of intermediary and any type of concern about, I guess, mismanagement or stuff like that.
So the main purpose of a community being organized in this way is that so everyone has a voice and make decisions as to what the community does.
In my opinion, yeah.
In your opinion.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, there's, I guess that's what I think about DAOs personally. They work best when they're united behind a common mission, though. Yeah. But.
And who sets the mission? Is it all the members? Is it again democratically selected, voted on?
Depends.
Or is it a leader, which you don't have a leader?
Well, leaders kind of arise by like just like they kind of naturally arise, but there's no one like there's so when as far as start with the vision thing, depends, right? So ATX DAO at the beginning, we had like we didn't put anything on chain necessarily about the vision, but we were like 24 people that loved Austin actually, and we wanted to focus on making Austin a better crypto hub or more of a crypto hub. So we all shared that. And so I guess in that case, it's like everyone who bought that NFT at the beginning and seeded the treasury were already buying into the vision without that being like solidified in any way. It had been circulated as an idea like on Medium or whatever, or like mouth to mouth before things spun up. But that, like, I guess sometimes you might want to like formalize the vision statement, but that kind of was already understood. And then over time, like I run the marketing and events and like do a lot of partnerships into as well. So I guess I kind of like kept working on like slogans or like refining what the statement is of stuff, but it's never like you can't do that without people agreeing with you. Like even if it's not like voted on, like kind of, for example, the description you gave of ATX DAO at the beginning, that was something that I made up, but it was everyone agreed on it and we all know each other. No one was like, oh, I disagree with that. It was something that we were already doing naturally, and I just like put it into a sentence and kind of formalized it as like a marketing person or as a branding person.
So everything has to be run by the members.
Yeah, I mean,
How do you feel about that? Isn't that super slow and ineffective?
I think it's cool. There's a balance of.
What if there's something you want to do and someone disagrees with you?
Then you got to solve the problem. You got to go be friend. You got to go talk to them, talk it out.
So you've never had issues where consensus was difficult to reach?
We've had some discussions, but they always end up with us coming to consensus. Like
that's amazing.
There've been some long arguments before.
About what? Give me examples.
About what to make one of our NFTs look like. That was quite the argument.
Yeah.
But like what I was telling somebody the other day, because I recently left corporate America, and like the difference between DAO versus corporate America to me, that's really interesting is like in a DAO, you're reporting down. Like in a corporate structure, like everyone is subservient and they're reporting up to this like autocratic leader who has the ability to like end your livelihood if they want. You know, it's like, oh, you're not doing well, you're done.
Yep.
With this, it's like I have like an official title. You know, like people assign responsibility to me. I have some level of autonomy in what I do, but like I have to tell everyone what I'm doing. And if I do something bad, like they're just going to get me out of there, you know? So I actually appreciate it as someone who personally in my entire life, when I work on things, I always like to share and get feedback. I like overshare with people. And I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? This is like perfect for me because I have to go out and manage all these stakeholders and make sure everybody's happy. And then you're more strong as an organization. You're more united behind your mission because everyone's on board. So I'm a big fan. Yeah.
And would you say you're like a nonprofit then? Or like how do you allocate your resources that you make through the sale of NFTs, right?
Yeah. So
you host events.
Yeah. So the structure is a little bit unique. We can't formally say we're a nonprofit because we're not like a 501c3 or 4 or whatever. But we functionally are not for profit necessarily.
Yeah.
Like we're not trying to make returns. We can't distribute it to our members. Like it's not like if you have an NFT, it's just a membership. Like we're not doing dividends. We're not doing distribution. All the money that we raise of NFTs funds operations, funds events, funds like projects we want to do. So it stays in the organization. We have an events company that is our like public facing, like Secretary of State, bank, vendor, like that's how we interface with the traditional world. And then we have our DAO, which is kind of operating in Web3 world, but we're wrapping it right now in an UNA wrapper, which is like this obscure or like legal format for organizations that are a little bit more flexible, but it reduces, like we can't do distributions still, but it can encompass a decentralized organization better than other forms. And so this is like what everybody in DAO world has been kind of like, the thought leadership has kind of funneled everybody into this UNA structure. And we've kind of come to consensus that that's like what makes sense for encompassing and providing liability protection for an organization of hundreds of members that you may not know the names of that have a shared treasury. It's interesting. It's kind of like a co-op, but it's not a co-op.
How do those two organizations interact with each other? When members join, they have to pay?
Yes, they have.
And that money goes to the traditional corporations then?
Okay, so it's like this is my favorite part. One of my favorite parts about like how it works, right? So when you're a new member, and everybody, like even the founders, like the founders put in the most money that ETH was at all-time highs when we bought our NFTs, our membership NFTs. But so everybody who wants to become a member, they buy this membership NFT, and it costs like around $2,000, right? So the first one was 0.512 ETH, the new one is 1 ETH, but you know the market fluctuates, so it's about $2,000.
When you say NFT, you mean a non-fungible token?
Yes.
And a lot of people associate NFT with art, but this is nothing to do with art.
Well, it is a piece of art. But functionally it's a membership token.
Okay.
It's a non-fungible token that it's attached to a JPEG, so it looks like art, like it is art.
Okay, it is art.
But it functions as a
your way in. It's your unique membership number, I guess.
Yeah, it's a token.
Identification.
Like it's a unique token that like interacts with Web3 applications, right? So the money that you spend when you buy your NFT, it goes into the Gnosis safe. And the Gnosis safe is like a complicated crypto wallet with extra protection where in order to release funds, it has to be signed by a bunch of different people before it can get released funds. And then the way that those funds are released is through community consensus. So the NFT interacts with an application called Snapshot. Snapshot is like a voting platform that publishes information onto a decentralized database called IPFS. And so when you have your membership token, you have the ability to write a proposal on this application called Snapshot, and then the community can vote on it. And you vote with your membership NFT. I'm realizing as I'm talking about this that I'm saying a bunch of nonsense to people that don't know about crypto.
No, I think I get it. Does it work through majority vote? If the proposal gets majority of votes, it goes through?
Yeah, so we have a quorum that's self-imposed. 24 ATX, so 24 tokens need to have voted before we can agree, like as a community, that this is a valid proposal. And then if it's majority, then it passes.
Okay.
And like, yeah. So this like type of activity, the ability to like run an organization this way, like where decisions are on chain and funds are like accessible to a lot of people without a bunch of lawyers, it feels pretty, like it seems like not that crazy, but then it actually is super crazy when you start thinking about it. Because like it was just like 24 dudes all bought an NFT. 24 dudes, like 1 or 2 women. We don't have a good ratio. Yeah. But we all bought an NFT that seeded a treasury, and then we just created an organization out of thin air.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
It is crazy, and I get it. So how does DAO relate to cryptocurrency? So I get the relation to the decentralization and NFTs, which is membership, but how does it relate to cryptocurrency?
So DAOs, like the applications DAOs use leverage, like typically the Ethereum blockchain, and then the Ethereum blockchain uses the Ethereum token to operate. So,
and do people purchase membership with blockchain?
Yeah. So it's,
or with crypto?
Yeah, the membership costs you're paying with Ethereum.
Okay, Ethereum.
Yeah, and so it's important. And this is like when I talk to my parents, and my parents are like, "Oh, I hate cryptocurrency. It's a scam." I'm like, "Well, dude, like Ethereum is so cool. Like Ethereum is a computer. Like it's a decentralized computer that operates without anybody controlling it. It just happens that the token you use to control the computer could be seen as a currency. And it is a currency in a lot of ways, but it's also like fuel for this computer, which is pretty neat to me.
What's the value of 1 Ethereum?
Right now it's like $1,900. Okay. So our NFT is like $1,900 right now. But
that's decent.
Yeah.
How many members do you have?
153.
Okay, that's a good source of revenue.
Yeah, it is. That's like our primary funding mechanism. And I like to Megan, our operations manager, she calls it, we're fundraising and we're raising intellectual capital, right? Because these people come in, and then we just have like a bunch of new friends, a bunch of new builders that we can do projects with. And it seems like a high price tag, but I'm out there selling this NFT to people, convincing people that like we all put this money and skin in the game, funding this organization. It's like if you don't necessarily believe in ATX DAO, like I'm not going to tell you to buy this NFT, but if you believe in ATX DAO, this NFT is just like a no-brainer. And for what it's worth, we set the price based on the free market, so it's not like we're trying to fleece you or anything. Yeah.
You said your mission is to help local businesses and artists.
Yeah.
And my question is, why does it have to be achieved through DAO? Don't you think that having a regular nonprofit 501c3 could achieve the same goal?
It could, but it's more interesting if it's like 100-something people with all their ideas and all their power, like their network, their passion, their opinions. It's like a superpower to have an entire army of smart people that like Austin. That's different from a nonprofit when it's like you have your board or whatever.
It's a top-down approach.
Exactly.
Where the manager decides what happens.
Yeah,
and
what
here
if the
it's
manager
bottoms-up.
sucks? Yeah, what if the manager sucks? What if they're mismanaging funds? What if, like, there's some weird nonprofits out there. I don't know. This is transparent, right? You can go. It's hard for us to hide information.
No corruption. There's so much corruption in nonprofits and charities.
Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of hard. There's corruption in DAOs too, but it's kind of hard to hide stuff. It's a lot harder.
So it's like a better way to run a charity.
I mean, we'll see.
In a way. That's what I'm thinking now.
Hopefully. We'll see.
So how do local artists benefit from your DAO? Give me examples of how you helped local community members.
We have one project specifically that like I'm glad we did, because it is like putting our money where our mouth is. Because like we haven't been around for that long, and like it's getting to the giving part of any type of organization. It takes a little bit of time, but we did do this one awesome project where there's this super dope muralist in Austin. He's done so many around town, and we basically commissioned him to do this super cool mural on native.
What's a mural?
What's that?
What that word you said?
Mural.
What's that?
Like a giant painting on a wall.
Okay.
Yeah. So he did it downtown on this building.
Yeah.
And then we turned it into this 3D NFT that you could purchase. And then
is it legal? Can you just paint buildings?
You need to get permission Well, this one we got permission, but like graffiti, like, stuff like that. But this is like mural art sanctioned everything. But we worked with the building the owner of the building, and we got this done down there. Turned it into an NFT that is like you can like turn it around with your camera and like see. The idea is like murals are temporary, but NFTs are immutable and they're forever. So anyway, if you bought
he owned the NFT,
he got one. But the main thing with the NFTs is like if you buy the NFT, the money goes to charity. So we're supporting artists by hiring an artist. Then we're supporting artists by taking money to charity and
which charity?
Hope Campaign.
Okay.
But that's just putting our feet in the water. Like we're not. I can't really like. Give me a year, and we're gonna have really crushed it, because the next step, trying to just do like mass onboarding of artists. But the thing with, I don't want to go to artists and be like, hey, get into crypto without a payday for them. Like the problem with that is like they might waste a bunch of time. They might like pay money to get their stuff on the marketplace, like gas fees or whatever, and they don't like get a payday. Like I want to facilitate some transactions for artists to be able to participate, as we say, participate in the ecosystem. It's like we need to find those enthusiasts, those collectors, match them with those local artists. And that's part of the point of ATX DAO is like, how do we bring this industry and these like patrons and these passionate like curators and entrepreneurs, how do we bring them into Austin? Or how do we they're already in Austin, but how do we ingrain them with the community and find ways to build together? Because the ethos of the people in crypto is very pro-creative, pro-artist, like giving back, but you just have to build these venues, you have to build this community and then bring people together. And that's kind of like ATX DAO.
Well said. So one example, you said local artists, NFTs. Is there a way that you could benefit local businesses like restaurants, local shops that want to transact in crypto, for example? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, people think about that a lot.
Because you can't go to a supermarket and pay with Bitcoin. It doesn't work. Yeah,
you can't. It's weird. Barb's downtown, the club, Barbarella?
No.
Awesome, best bar. They actually take USDC for some reason, which is crazy. It's like a gay bar that like all the like is the opposite of crypto from my perspective. It's like the coolest bar. They got like 3 stages. It's so sick. It's like my favorite. Anyway, they take USDC for some reason, which is awesome. But what was I gonna say? Getting businesses to transact in crypto would be cool. But again, it has to be a value proposition to them, because crypto is inconvenient in a lot of ways, right? So it's not like...
How do you do your accounting? I can't imagine how difficult that would be.
Megan Murray is a wizard, and she like does all the like financial stuff. And then we also like hired another accountant as well that has extra expertise to double check and like provide some more input. But just really talented people is how we handle our accounting. But yeah, we need to, as far as the local business go, like trying to get creative with it. There's people, again, like with the DAO thing, like we have like over 100 people that could provide opinions on how to get something done, like it's bottom up ideas. So we have some people that are like, we got to get people to just take crypto. And you got some people that are like, we got to build a loyalty program that like people in crypto get an NFT and it drives business to different local areas. Like, we'll see what happens, but we're going to get something done.
Who are your members? You said mostly youths. You don't get a lot of women.
Yeah, we let's say our like gender representation is fairly similar to any emerging technology industry.
Yeah.
We try. We've genuinely tried, and we're working on it even more with this new membership round. We're very, very focused on trying to be inclusive. Like that's a whole thing about ATX DAO is being inclusive. But the membership is on the website is like we're like investors, we're professionals in crypto, we're just crypto enthusiasts. We could be there are traders, there are there's a lot of founders,
tech people.
It's a lot of tech people there, and there's artists too, and there's like one of the guys that like started ATX DAO with us, or like was part of the beginning of ATX DAO. He was just like a philosophy dude, and he was just like, DAOs are cool. But yeah, it's like it's a bunch of people. But it's primarily tech. Like if we go and we interface with a political body or like any type of institution with the government, like they're gonna see us as a technology association, which is good, because that's a good those are good people to represent, you know. So yeah, it's mainly tech though.
You explained DAO, you explained NFT. How does Web3 relate to all of that?
Web3 is a term that was invented to kind of rebrand a lot of things of negative opinions. I mean,
crypto.
Yeah,
crypto became Web3.
People will push back on that for me, but Web3, the thesis goes like Web 1 is like your email and your like normal internet where you can read. And then Web 2 is like your Facebooks and your read and write, you know, like you're putting stuff on the internet. But when you put all this stuff on the internet, then these companies own your data and they control you. So the idea of Web 3 is like, and I believe this, is like ownership. So it's like read, write, own. And these decentralized data systems, you theoretically own part of it. Your NFT like isn't controlled by anybody but you. So if the technology can get there, like if it can scale and be usable, which is a big if, then theoretically you could have a decentralized web where all your data is yours, where all the applications that you use are partially owned by you because you have tokens. That's pretty cool, but that's like what Web3 is. And so you can kind of bundle stuff in, but in reality, like Web3 is a great term for marketing.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think it was cool last year, and this year it's been overtaken by AI.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah,
and we can talk about that.
I don't know. Yeah, AI.
So how do you sell to people Web3 decentralization, data ownership? It seems there are a lot of applications, a lot of social media companies that build, you know, the Twitter that's decentralized. Yeah. But no one's on it.
Yeah.
Mastodon, for example, and others. How do you sell to people that this is something that they should get to and they should be on?
Well, luckily I don't have to sell it because I don't.
Or how do you think this will go mainstream, if it ever will?
I'm not really concerned about it going mainstream personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have a good market. I think people enter the market genuinely. There's some graphs, you know, and like all that, you can go do data stuff or whatever. But I think it's like, if you look at it, like adoption is going up. People genuinely get interested in it. And then you have these speculative peaks and like a bunch of people enter, a bunch of people lose money.
Yeah.
But then like the net growth still is going up. Like people join into crypto during like a hype cycle, but they stay because it's interesting. And then the people that already stayed didn't leave, so it just keeps growing. I saw something on Twitter though the other day that was like, builders need to focus on just like building for Web3 native people and making them happy, and then like hoping that people come along. So I don't try to necessarily convince people to get into crypto just because they could lose money. So I don't like try to get people into it, but I think it's cool.
So you always say it's cool, it's interesting. What exactly is cool about it? Interesting.
I mean, the idea of decentralization
is the main tenet of it.
Yeah, the technology is cool. Decentralization as a philosophy is cool. The people are very cool.
I agree.
Yeah, and the people is really like huge part of it, because like anyone can say bad things about crypto, but the people in crypto, once you get one level deeper, are like so dope that it'll shut people up. There obviously are your influencers and your scammers and whatever.
They're not real in crypto. They are just riding the wave.
Exactly. But once you start talking to the real crypto people, you're like, how is it possible that this technology isn't good when this many smart people are doing it?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
Jack Dorsey is a huge advocate of that, right?
Exactly.
You should get him on board.
Yeah, we should get him on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'll call him. I got you.
You said one of your goals is to educate the government about the benefits of Web3. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah.
How is the government in your way? And why do you need the government?
The government, it's in the way at a federal level, big time, with all the SEC nonsense and stuff like that. Try not to be negative about it, though. Like ATX DAO, our primary legislative priority for the last session, and I guess still, is creating a legal wrapper for DAOs. Because the UNA is cool, but if we could do another version of it, it would address problems like better.
What problems?
Like be able to be more like handle like a more decentralized like organization. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, UNAs are confusing, but the DUA, which is what we were proposing, was like an offshoot of the UNA that would be capable of handling organizations that are hundreds of people that could be operating with like software as the intermediary. So it was able to handle that type of craziness.
So the reason why you kept your membership at 153 is the limitation of UNA?
No, that's just how many people we have.
Okay.
You gotta talk to Megan about this stuff. But the DUA, the idea with that is like it's to accommodate bigger DAOs than us. Like we are more, we're still a like member managed organization, so we can find a way to work with normal structures, albeit more challenging. If we were to create this duo we talked about, it would reduce like the cost of figuring out how to build your organization legally, but it'll also accommodate like these massive organizations like Uniswap that have like thousands and thousands of thousands of token holders that are technically DAO members. You don't know who they are. And then the organization operates with like, I think Uniswap operates with a smart contract as like their operating agreement or whatever. But anyway, the idea of it was to create the best entity for DAOs of all sizes and pass it in Texas. So Texas would be like at the forefront. DAOs would want to come to Texas, incorporate here, and then Texas could be like the place where DAOs want to be. You get tax revenue and you cultivate a more friendly environment. That was the goal. So
sounds like a plan. I just thought about lawsuits because it's decentralized and trustless. There's no way for anyone to sue anyone, correct?
There is administrators.
Or how do you sue anyone through the structure that you're within?
So there are administrators that are held accountable for the organization.
Which is you?
It would be, but we'd be the people that they come to. And then they would go after the organization like any other like legal entity going after an organization, but they would have to deal with like the administrators. But I mean, we'd be liability protected, like. So
it's like LLC.
Yeah, it's like again, it's like the same idea of LLC, right? The reason why you want these legal protections is so you can be compliant and protected in exchange for being compliant. Yeah. You know? Yeah. We're trying to protect our members, but we're trying to follow rules and we're trying to pay the government at the same time. So it's almost frustrating when like you can't get that done because it's like, yo, government, we're trying to pay you. And we're trying to like
they're trying to protect the US dollar.
We're trying to bring business to the state. So, but Texas is cool. Yeah, they are trying to protect the US dollar. I could go on about conspiracies about the federal government trying to kill crypto. Like there's
I don't think they're conspiracies. I think they're completely real.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm interested in personally is voting. And how can we facilitate voting through blockchain? Yeah. Have you thought about that? Do you think that would be feasible?
Thought about it, downloaded a really big paper by MIT.
Can you send it to me?
I'll send it to you after. Yeah. I didn't read it. It was too long. I'm bad at reading. But I mean, I think it's a cool idea. I don't know how it would work. Again, like, I don't know. Hopefully anyone doesn't get angry at me for this, but I'm not concerned about like forcing Web3 technology onto people. And when someone's like, we need to make voting on the blockchain, I'm like, okay, well, how are you going to get everybody to do that? Like,
that's the problem of collective action.
So it's like
you can start at the state level, you know, or local level. You can start at city elections, for example.
Yeah, I had a friend. He was an ATX DAO. He left, but he still likes us. He ran for whatever position helps facilitate voting, and he wanted to do blockchain stuff. If someone could come to me and tell me this is how you do blockchain voting and it's easy to use, I will help them make it happen. But that paper was way too long.
So we need a researcher and someone else to connect the dots.
Yeah.
An implementer.
Yeah. Well, and then you need someone to...
And then someone in politics who can actually pass the law.
And some sellers to go convince people to do it.
Yeah. It would be so cool. I speak to young people about voting, and they're like, yeah, I'm just too lazy to go to the polls. Imagine if you could just have an app, run on blockchain, decentralized, unhackable, and you just vote through your phone.
That'd be awesome.
That would increase participation, by a lot.
I'm convinced.
Do you vote?
Oh, of course, yeah.
In every election?
I have, but this next one I don't know about.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm very interested in politics. Like
You are?
Yeah. It's very cool.
So who did you vote for?
I voted for Biden last time.
Okay, for presidential elections.
Yeah, and then I voted. I vote for I wrote in the local elections, but honestly, I just get advised by people.
Yeah.
But I'll get more into the weeds in the future.
Who do you get advised by?
My brother, my mom, and then my friends that are more politically, civically minded.
Yeah.
That have done the research and studied stuff. But being in crypto, I get exposed to a lot of opinions that are atypical from these people I'm telling you about that are from Austin that I know.
Yeah.
So I've been my brain is getting melted a little bit.
Well, the other thing that crypto could help with is information verification. Right. Right now, there's so much misinformation. You don't know what to trust. You don't know what's real and relevant. Imagine if you had some, blockchain technology that verified information. So you have this app, you have information as to who's running for office, and you know that the information about that candidate are real. How much money they raised, how much money they spent, who they raised from, what's their platform, what they have done. And everything will be verified through the community.
Be awesome.
Isn't that a dream?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That would be a dream.
The voting thing would be really cool if you could put it on chain, have it on the phone. That'd be super dope.
Everything in one app, all the information, you get a notification, hey, election is coming up, don't forget to register.
God, it'd be such a battle though. You think about all the thousands of people involved in the voting process, all the money being made off of voting machines, that's the type of stuff we're up against.
I know. It's going to be hard to get it passed. Anyways, Ukraine NFT project. So I saw on your website that when Russia invaded Ukraine, you launched an NFT campaign.
Yep.
Where all the proceeds go to a charity. So what was the NFT campaign? How did that come about? Did a member of yours raise the proposal, which was then voted on?
Yeah.
That's how it went.
Yeah, someone was Clifton King, legend, super smart, mega genius. He's he was the guy that had, I think he's the guy that had the ATX DAO idea, the first guy with the idea.
Wow.
But I could be wrong. I know that he created the Discord.
Yeah.
So creating the Discord is pretty legit. But anyway, he's a wizard. He's so cool. But when the invasion went down, he was like, yo, we got to do this. And so I was like, for sure, I'll help you. Community was down. And part of the reason why crypto supported Ukraine so much was because Ukraine was pro crypto, and they posted on Twitter. They were like, here's our wallet address. And they were like, give us if you want to donate, send it to this wallet. And so everyone in crypto was like, yeah, for sure, let's go. And then it was cool too, because you obviously the tragedy is not cool, but the use case of being we don't have banks, but we have our crypto is cool.
I mean, Russia is facing the same problem. They were cut off from SWIFT, which is the international payment system. Yeah. So a lot of people switched to crypto.
Yeah.
As a result,
the whole thing about being able to get debanked is
crazy,
whack, dude.
And even PayPal, I remember there was news last year, someone was cut off because they were like too controversial.
Yes.
Something.
There are,
from PayPal?
Yeah, there's a lot of like mega right wingers
Yeah.
that they've lost hella bank accounts. And there's all the truckers, the Canadian truckers thing. That got me riled up. That was super
Canadian
lame.
truckers.
Yeah, that was that was not chill that they cut off those truckers from their funds. That's really, really.
You gotta get them on board. Set up a DAO there.
Yeah.
The truckers DAO.
Truck DAO.
Truck DAO.
Yeah, that was really whack.
And then you have a public art fund.
That's the.
That's the what you talked about.
Yeah.
Charity commission donate. Okay. So my question is, why would you have to donate 25% to an art charity if you are the charity yourselves?
Well, we're not technically the charity. So this was like.
But you act sort of like a charity.
Yeah, this was like an experiment, right? So.
If you know there's so much corruption in charities.
Well, these are the guys we worked with. I don't know. I didn't choose the charity.
Yeah.
This is a bottom-up approach.
Yeah.
They have a good reputation in Austin.
Yeah.
Some people don't think so, but I don't know. I have no opinion about them.
It was, again, voted on by the community.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And I support anybody in Austin that's trying to do good.
Yeah.
So I'm not hating on anybody, but they were selected by some members. Mm-hmm. They seemed nice, and like they had a really cool gallery at some point. But yeah, they're really nice people. I like them. But they were the ones that were selected. The idea was like very crypto like experiment idea, where it's like the money got put into a separate wallet. Some of it went to the artist, some of it went to the charity, and then some of it went to this fund that's going to be distributed as well, like a charity. But anybody who owns the NFT can vote on how it goes.
And when you vote, is it anonymous, or do you know how other people voted?
It's anonymous unless you've assigned your identity to your wallet. So there's something called ENS, which is like the Ethereum name service. It's kind of like a website address. So your wallet is like a string of random numbers and letters that starts with OX. And then if you own this ENS, you can basically redirect transactions to that ENS. So like for mine, it's like 512 Mace. You can send your funds to 512 Mace without having to worry about sending to the wrong crazy numbered address. So if you're voting, I vote with a wallet that says 512 Mace. So people see what I'm voting for.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't. So you can go either way.
Because then if you are sort of the leader of the organization, other people can look at your vote and then vote based on how you voted.
Yes.
So the influence is there.
Yes. Like influence is very real in DAOs. But it's earned influence.
Earn influence.
Which is cool.
Talking about earnings, what is REP?
Oh yeah, REP is dope. REP is another experiment.
On-chain reputation system for tracking and rewarding contributions. What is that? Yes,
this is very Web3 native messaging on there.
Yeah.
It's a super dope project that was created by my good friend Jesse Patterson in the DAO. It's an experiment. It's still being developed, but it's deployed right now. So I have rep tokens, but we haven't figured out exactly how to use them in like make a system to actually use them for like rewards or like how to distribute them for different things. But anyway, the idea is if you have your wallet, you can see everything that's going on in a wallet. So like my 512 Mace ETH address, you can see my transactions, you see how much money I have, what NFTs I have, what I'm voting for. Also, we created this new token called Rep. And so I ran an event or something, right? I got given 200 Rep or something, right? And theoretically, it's like every time you go to an event, we give you Rep. Every time you contribute, you get Rep. And then you can look on chain and be like, these are like the heaviest contributors here. And like these are the people that show up the most. And then you have these rep tokens, you can trade them in for like a shirt or something. It's kind of like airline points.
And do you create those reps out of thin air?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So you as a ATX DAO distribute those reps to the most active users, rep like reputation, and then they could trade it for a t-shirt.
Or something like that, yeah.
Or something like that.
And we create it, we create the token out of thin air, yeah. It's like it's points that we
And they traded with you for a t-shirt?
We haven't done any trading for t-shirts yet, but we don't know yet. But right now we're just to the point where people are getting rep. So we did a launch of it at our South by Southwest party. Anybody anybody who like scanned the QR code
Yeah.
got rep. And the rep is all like the artwork for the rep. It's an NFT, and it's like a token that has an image as well. It's an NFT.
Is NFT always artwork?
NFTs are signed with artworks, with artwork, okay. Or it could be.
But it doesn't have to be artwork, right?
I mean, I guess it could be like, you can buy NFTs of like books, and you can buy NFTs of like articles or like 3D objects. It's just like it's like a token.
It's an online content.
Yeah, it's tied to content, right? So like when you're buying an Ethereum token, there's like a bajillion Ethereum tokens, and they're all the same.
Yeah.
But with an NFT, it's like each of these tokens is unique. It's got a unique token ID, and each token on chain is assigned either to artwork on a distributed database, like a distributed file storage system like IPFS. So like, or it's like on chain artwork. So for example, like my ATX DAO NFT is tied to a picture of whatever, like the fox that the previous one was. It's tied to that on IPFS, and theoretically IPFS won't go down, and then theoretically, like if IPFS goes down, then we have a problem. But it shouldn't, because it's distributed. But yeah,
cool.
That was kind of rambly.
Cool. Public policy. ATX DAO authored and progressed Bill 3768 relating to the formation of decentralized unincorporated associations and the use of distributed ledger or blockchain technology for certain business purposes.
Right. So
what is that?
This is what I was talking about earlier with our Texas DAO bill making DAOs get. There's probably like, I mean.
So it didn't pass. It passed the House, but it didn't pass the Senate.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, like, it creates that entity, but it also adds vocabulary into the Texas Business Code that lets people use blockchain for normal stuff, which is really cool and necessary. But and
it also clarifies electronic data systems and signatures.
Yeah, that's what
such as smart contract.
Yeah, so it makes like a smart contract count as like an enforceable agreement, for example.
Right. Okay, got it.
Yeah, if you want to get the details, that's probably where to read it. I'm not a lawyer. Okay. I'm just somebody who believes and tries to get things done.
And then it created a mural downtown and preserved it as a 3D. Oh, that's what you did.
Yeah.
And organized the first Web3 pitch competition in Texas.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was that was super dope. That was a partnership with the Graduate Blockchain Society at the business school, the Graduate Business School. We had it at their awesome building, Rowling Hall. And we opened applications. People could pitch. It was 77 people applied to pitch.
With what?
Their companies.
Their companies.
Your founders, they came. They wanted to pitch their. We had a prize pool, and we had all these people that wanted to pitch. We had to select 20, and then some people even like drove in from out of town or flew in. But they came. We had a long day where they pitched in breakout rooms and they pitched on stage, and then we gave out the prize. It was like $160K of stuff. It was only like $10K cash, but it was dope. I mean, if I was a founder of like a traditional organization, I mean, it was quick node credits, Google Cloud credits. The really good one was like a bunch of fees for legal services. Yeah, and then there was money too.
Cool. And so did you invest in that business, that one? No, it was just a giveaway.
No, ATX DAO hasn't figured out.
You can't really invest.
I think so. Part of what we want to do is like invest in businesses and like do some type of, maybe not an accelerator, but like we're inspired by accelerators. We're inspired by Capital Factory. There's a way we can do it, whether it's like have a separate entity and raise a fund. That's down in the line though. This pitch comp was like a proof of concept. Like, can we do this? Do we have the pull? Like, do people want to do this? And if they do it, will they have a good experience? And will the people that come have a good experience? And will the venture capitalists that come have a good experience? And so the answer is yes. So next time it'll be bigger, it'll be better, and then hopefully we'll have a strategy about how to actually start utilizing deal flow, utilizing our network, and empowering founders to succeed with our network, right? So Capital Factory is just a great example of like mutually beneficial networking, which is they offer so much value to their portfolio companies. So it's cool.
Have you heard of Antler?
Yes, I have heard of Antler. I don't know enough about it, but I've heard of them.
I went through Antler last year, so if you want, I can connect you with some folks there.
What was it like?
It's the same as Capital Factory.
Really?
It's just an international accelerator. I think they were started out of Singapore. They expanded to Europe and last year to the US. So they have 3 locations: New York, Colorado, Austin. And it's a bunch of cool folks, a lot of blockchain, Web3 people there.
What was your, what were you accelerating?
I was accelerating. I had no idea what I was doing when I entered the accelerator. So I created my idea there. And it was a communications platform.
Cool.
Yeah. No Web3, no decentralization. So yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. How important is the collaboration of the blockchain community with the government? Like, from your interactions so far with legislators, how do you feel about them understanding what blockchain is, being perceptive to your needs? Are they positive about what you're doing, or do they have a more cynical approach?
I feel like, my experienced people have been really receptive. But
which legislators have you spoken with?
We're in Texas though, so it's different. We spoke with like the majority of the business and industry committee in the House, and they were receptive.
Yeah.
They passed us unanimously. We had like the champions though that we had was like Representative Capriglione, and Representative John Busey was like our guy. He really believes in us. He's amazing. And Tan Parker as well, Senator Tan Parker. And then we had some other co-signers on the bill and stuff. But the people that really helped us out was Representative John Busey, Capriglione, and Tan Parker. They were great. And we're going to spend a lot of time making new friends over the next couple of years until the next session. But yeah, collaboration. Yep. I am a big fan of, which is why I like DAO so much. So it's like, I think the blockchain industry should collaborate with the government.
Yeah.
The problem is when the government doesn't want to collaborate with us. But then also at the same time, it's like there's reasonable, like there's a reason why the government like doesn't want to, so you got to understand. Yeah. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll figure it out. But again,
you'll be fine. They won't be fine.
Yeah. They'll come around. Well, part of it too is like it's like what I was saying, like what you agree with, like the people in Web3 are super cool, and like I'd be shocked if some of these like legislators like don't change their mind if they meet the real Web3 people.
I wish Web3 people wanted to enter government. Imagine how better the world would be if politicians were, ATX DAO community.
Give us some time. Give us some
time. Do it now.
Yeah.
We don't have time.
It doesn't have to be a long time. Just give us some time.
Democracy is dying.
Think about how recent this industry is, though. Like, I think we're going to see a lot of people rise up, like, step up to the plate.
You can make a lot of change from within. I think you underestimate that. A lot of people think, we have to be from the outside and push the government. But if you actually enter the government, you can do much more. In Texas, for example, there's no way to do ballot initiatives, right? The people have very little power. Everything has to go through the legislative process. Having power in the legislature is actually very important.
Agreed. Yeah, I am a big proponent of, like, work inside the system, obviously outside the system too, but you got to participate in the system or else you can't. You're not really trying.
If anyone is thinking about running for office, send them my way.
Yes, we'll do.
I'll interview them. So VC space, Web3 received a bad rap, I think, in the VC space like last year. When not blockchain, Bitcoin crashed and all these cryptocurrencies and a lot of scams came out. SBF, I think, did a huge damage to the space with his fraudulent crypto exchange. and all the funds moved towards AI.
Yeah.
So who do you contribute, what do you contribute this shift to? And what do investors not understand? Have you spoken to investors? Are you in touch with the VC space?
Yeah,
venture capital space?
I'd say I'm in touch with the VC space. I think like a lot of the scams and like VCs getting scammed is like one thing. That's like a whole different ballgame than like retail getting scammed.
Yes.
VCs getting scammed, I have a little bit less sympathy for.
They know what they're getting into. They take on the risk.
They have all of financial everything. They have the opportunity to make the decision. It's their job to make decisions on investments. So I feel a little bit less sympathy for them. I do feel really bad though. I would say that VC space in crypto, like if you're a crypto VC, you're still going strong. Like crypto VC is still happening. A16Z is still raising huge funds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, huge funds. And there's still a lot of activity. I think it's just the nature of VC though that they're chasing like the trends to get returns, right?
VCs are like sheep, literally.
A lot of people are like sheep.
Yeah, you have a lot of people like sheep.
Yeah.
We're all sheep.
Yeah, in some way. But yeah, VCs, I mean, if you think about it though, I mean, you're copy trading almost. And you're going to make some money though if the narrative is on AI and you can mobilize your capital and make quick moves, you could make some money. But I think that a lot of AI people also like crypto. So
I mean, there are crypto projects that are also AI projects, right?
Yeah.
So I think those two industries are very much related.
I don't think either of them are going away. And I think like they both win. Like, dude, crypto was ridiculously overhyped last cycle.
Oh yes.
Like people were crazy out of their minds thinking that it was going to do some stuff that was just like completely
all these YouTubers, doing these scams like Jake Paul have this NFT project that scammed people.
I think AI is similar too, where it's like people are saying it's going to do all this, like it's going to do crazy stuff for sure, but it's like I still think things are a little bit overinflated with this type of.
Are you positive or negative on AI?
I'm positive. I'm positive in general on everything, pretty much. I just think AI bros are kind of annoying. Like,
why?
Because they talk about ChatGPT all the time on Twitter. It's all over the place. I had to mute ChatGPT. Yeah. Nah, it's cool. I have some friends that are in AI. I just like to be annoying and be a contrarian. So you
should invite them to ATX DAO.
Yeah, there's some AI people.
And do a collab.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Right.
Yeah. No, AI is cool though. It'll be dope. It's interesting to see. I mean, ChatGPT is super cool. Super cool. I think there's a lot of useless AI tools out there though, for sure. But that's just how it goes. I mean, you throw stuff on the wall and see if it sticks. That's the whole venture capital model anyway. And then everybody wins theoretically because you're VC with a bunch of funds. You just throw in money at all these founders, and then their founders like, "Oh, my company failed. Oh no, I have $4 million."
I mean, it's hard to fail if a VC throws like 100 million at you. Have you heard of Sorari?
No.
It's an NFT project out of Europe, France. And they make NFTs like football cards in the form of NFTs.
Cool.
And they raised like $100 million in their seed round, which is crazy. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And all they do is NFT football cards.
Those guys must be really, really good at talking.
I think the founder is very well connected.
Okay, that too. They was all just like weird investor. I don't know. That's cool though. I like trading cards.
Yeah, but 100 million, I don't know.
100 million is crazy.
100 million is crazy.
That's really crazy.
Yeah. And they have all these celebrities like Messi, Ronaldo.
That sounds a little bit suspect to me almost.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a fraud, but we'll see. So you have 153 members. I tried joining. It did not let me. It says applications closed. Why are you capping your membership at 153?
So our membership model is cohort based. So it's like it's all over the place here. So it's cohort based. So we have a period of time where applications are open.
Yeah.
They close. Our community reviews them. We admit people. They have the opportunity to purchase if they want, and then they join.
Wait, so I have to be admitted by the community?
Yes.
through majority vote?
Well, it's depending on the process. It's not majority vote because that takes too long. We have reviewers, so it's like the community has the opportunity to become a reviewer. So you can't expect like one thing we can't do is tell people what to do in the organization, because I mean you can tell like people that are compensated what to do a little bit, but they have their roles. But like I can't go to someone and be like, yo, like you got to do this thing. Like they're gonna be like, no, dude, I'm just a member. But you can be like, do you want to do this thing? But anyway, we have like whatever people that want to review the applications. They score the people, and then there's like a threshold. It depends every time though, because we've done different processes for each review process. Last time we had interviews, like it was intense. But
so members of community can become reviewers.
Yes.
Or like representatives.
Anybody in the community can review. Yeah. So they can, if you want to have a voice in who joins the organization and what the community is going to look like, you can have a lot of influence in that. You just have to want to do it. Yeah.
And do the reviewers have to be somehow approved by the community?
No.
Anyone can just...
They already work approved.
They are already a member, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
They're part of the community. Everybody is, like, everyone has the same... They're all ATX DAO members, you know? Like, we're all ATX DAO members. Everybody can create an idea and bring it to proposal, which is so cool to me.
So cool. So what is the application like? What information do you want from me?
It's just like, again, it's different. Last time we had a lot more questions. This time the questions are more just like, we need personal information, just like contact information.
Do I need to be verified? Like, do you need my passport?
No.
Stuff like that?
No, just like legal name and then like
name.
Email and phone if you want. We really just need email and name as a way to contact you.
So theoretically, I could be anonymous. I could become a member and be anonymous.
You could. Yeah.
Okay.
We have anonymous members. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a guy named Flex. I have no idea what his name is. I think he's like completely off the grid. I don't think you could ever find him. He's super cool
Interesting.
though. Yeah, he's super dope.
So how do you, like, you know him from Discord then?
From Discord.
Okay.
I've met him in person one time.
Okay.
But he's super cool. But yeah, and then we had a question. It's what is your crypto origin story? What is your expectations of ATX DAO? I think there was a couple more, but the idea was to be pretty lightweight application this time. Last time there was a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And then last time too, like we focused super hard on trying to bring diversity into the organization as well. This time we're trying to be like extra inclusive. Last time it was like we only had a certain number of NFTs, so we had to be very like scrutinizing, but we still focus heavily on diversity. This time we're focusing on inclusivity as a whole, not just diversity. Like being able to provide the opportunity to as many people as you want to get in. Obviously that includes diversity, but it's about like widespread access this time.
Nice.
So.
Well, you know, the Supreme Court just made affirmative action illegal.
I saw that.
Unconstitutional.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Okay, so, and then you accept me, I pay a membership fee, and I'm a member, which is 1 Ethereum. Seems pretty straightforward. When do applications open?
We don't have like a set time.
Okay, so for anyone, you just have to wait. Check your website.
Build up hype.
Do you have social media? Where can people find you?
You can.
How can they contact you?
Well, we have social media at ATX DAO on Twitter, at ATX.DAO on Instagram, ATX DAO on LinkedIn. We have a Discord too. You can email us. You can email me, Mason at ATXDAO.com. You can email community at ATXDAO.com. One interesting thing about membership that I forgot to tell you. Because it's an NFT, anybody can just sell it. So you have to be approved to get the NFT,
right?
But you could sell it to anybody. It could be on the open market too.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
That's just how it works.
So then why would you spend so much time reviewing members? If someone can use someone else to get in and then sell the NFT to, that doesn't make sense.
Well, theoretically, we've approved the person who we're given the opportunity to buy to already.
Yeah.
So if there is...
But that person could have been corrupted by someone else who perhaps wouldn't have got in. Yeah, they could have been bribed.
That's a whole situation. That hasn't happened. But it's just interesting is all. It's like just the fact of the technology. The fact that it's an NFT, we can't like it's yours. You're allowed to go sell it.
And do you know when someone sells it?
I track it, but that's manual. I go on OpenSea and I track things. Yeah, but
interesting.
So I'm trying to keep track, but if I slip, like you know.
But it hasn't happened often.
Yeah, there's only been like 5 or 6 people that have sold their NFTs. Yeah.
Interesting.
And like, and sometimes it's like brokered, you know, like someone's like, oh, I gotta go, I'm moving out of town, but I got like this friend that wants to buy it, and then they like are like, oh, awesome, or like some guys like, oh, like I've been trying to join, but you guys didn't have applications open, bought one off the marketplace.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's cool.
Right. And how do I know that someone is trying to sell their NFT?
They can put it on the open marketplace, on OpenSea, Blur, whatever.
OpenSea, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So it's cool. I mean, it's a unique part of the membership process. I think in the future we want to explore a more like rolling process, but as of right now, we just do these membership rounds, and it is helpful for hype and stuff like that, and just like marketing and everything.
Makes sense. Cool. What is your website again?
atxdao.com.
Go to atxdao.com to learn more.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was fun.